Mike Radich here, and I'm now joined on the phone by RFA Middleweight Andrew Sanchez. Andrew, how are you?
What's up, everybody? I'm doing well. How about yourself?
Doing good. Thanks for asking. Andrew, you got a fight coming up August 7th at RFA 28. Before we start talking about that fight, let's go back to June of 2014, RFA 15, the inaugural RFA Middleweight Championship fight between you and Kevin Casey. Unfortunately, that night you lost the fight via first round KO at 2 minutes and 30 seconds. I'm just curious, what went wrong for you that night? I know it's a fight that you probably don't want to relive, but since you're going for RFA Gold, once again, you're getting another title shot on August 7th, I think that's where the story actually starts, during your first attempt to try to claim the RFA Middleweight Championship. So let's go back to June of 2014. What went wrong for you in that fight?
What went wrong? Well, first of all, he's a cheating little punk. Obviously, he got busted with steroids. Everybody knows that. Mm-hmm. If you check out his before and after picture, it's quite astounding. But that's beside the point, because it was a flaw on my part. You know what I mean? He could have been on steroids. It doesn't matter. The fact was that I made fundamental mistakes, and those mistakes were defense. I didn't worry about getting hit. I guess I had a little arrogance to my style. Like, I didn't think I was going to get knocked out. You know what I mean? So I didn't think about getting hit. I didn't care. Like, hands down, chin up, let's go, let's fight. And that's how I approached the fight, and I got caught, you know. And on top of that, you know, game plan, maybe I was kind of working on a lot of striking, and I was like, I should strike with this guy, but I'm a wrestler at heart, you know what I mean? And that's the way I should approach that fight. You know, I should have tired him out, took him down, grinded on him, and then maybe still with him in the later round. But I was really confident on my feet. And but anyway, you know, if I would have won that fight, well, that would have been my UFC contract, and I would have gone to fight, and I'd have the same mentality, you know, keep my hands down, no focus on defense, just thinking about offense, and that's not good. And ever since that last fight, you know, I was really focused on just basically not getting hit. If I'm sparring and I don't really get hit, like, that's a win for me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And I got a completely different approach to fighting now. And so it was like a blessing in disguise. You know, I'd much rather it happen now than later, because eventually I'm going to get knocked out with the way I was fighting. You know what I mean? And I look at it positively. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Obviously, going into that fight, you thought you were going to win that fight, but I'm just curious as to how you thought you were going to get the job done. Going into that fight, when I looked at the matchup, I thought if you were able to implement a game plan similar to like Matt Lindland did against Kevin Casey in Strikeforce, I thought that, okay, if you took him down, grinded on him, tired him out, wear down his gas tank the first 3 rounds, in the championship rounds, the 4th and 5th rounds, you'd take him to deep water and then drown him in those later rounds, and you'd get a stoppage in either the 4th or 5th round. That's how I thought if you were going to win that fight, you would win it that way. So I'm just curious, how did you think you were going to win that fight?
Yeah, you know, I almost had it backwards. I'm like, he's very stiff on the feet. You know, I watched his old tape and his old film, and he was very, you know, he was a beginner with striking. He was just a grappler. So I was like, okay, I'm going to fight him where he's least comfortable. And I'm going to get him tired. He gets tired on the feet. He wants to go to the ground. So I almost had it backwards, where I'm going to try and tire him out on the feet and then take him down the later rounds and finish it there. When, in hindsight, I think I should have grinded him, taking him down, made him blow out those big old muscles at first, and then if it was on the feet later when he's tired, then stand with him. But, you know, the guy has a lot of power, he's fresh, and he just caught me, you know, stupid mistake out of the clinch. And happens to us all. So, you know, that's that.
After the fight, Kevin Casey said something to you, and I've been trying to figure out exactly what he said to you. I tried to read his lips, but I can't put together anything. It sounds like, and it looks like, that he said something along the lines like he smiled at you and sarcastically said, like, you did real good tonight, or something like that. There was some hidden dig to what he said at you, and that's why you charged him. So I'm just curious, what exactly did he say to you after the fight?
I don't know what he said, honestly, either, but, you know, he beat me, and, you know, we were talking a lot of shit and stuff before, but that's whatever. He beat me, so I'd go to shake his hand. I'd say, good job, man. And he kind of like looked at me and like shrugged his shoulders, like, I don't know if he said something or it was more of his body language, like, please, you know what I mean? And then he kind of shook my hand. And that really pissed me off. I was like, fight's over, man. I want to shake your hand. Like, congratulations, you just knocked me out, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And you're going to talk shit after the fact. So I got angry and I tried to get in his face, and, you know, I would have fought him again right there, obviously. But so I don't know exactly what he said, if he even said anything, but you could tell by his body language he was kind of taunting me.
Right. I never heard either one of you bring that up after the fight. Kevin Casey never addressed it, and I never heard you address it after that fight.
No, nobody's ever asked me, really. You know, except my friends. Of course, everybody's like, what do you say, what do you say? So everybody picked up on it. But
Right. I was very curious about that. Right.
You know, nobody really asked me too much about the fight, honestly.
You know? Interesting.
Just, you addressed it, you know. I got a lot to say about it.
Interesting. Now, there was a lot of hype going into that fight. There was a lot of trash talk, a lot of back and forth. It was very, very good build-up material, I thought. I thought it was great. You guys were having, like, rap battles and stuff. There was some back and forth. For a regional fight, you know, RFA, shows like that, Legacy, Titan, those mid-major shows, those shows are kind of like AAA teams to the UFC. For those type of shows, this is some of the best trash talk I can remember from a show on a regional circuit. This had a big fight feel to it. I'm just curious, going into that fight, did you really not like Kevin Casey leading up to that fight, or was that something where you just started talking to drum up interest in the fight? I'm just curious, do you not like him, or was that just to build up a fight?
A little bit of both, I think. I mean, I was always kind of wanted to fight the guy. I thought he was really mentally weak. If you watch him on the show, you know, he kind of like quit after the bell and things like that. And I don't know, he always had this arrogance to him. So like, he kind of like, he was just one of those guys that I wanted to punch in the face, I guess. But like, I didn't have like a personal vendetta against him. But at the same time, you know, I think he's got quite the ego, and he would take it very personally, you know what I mean? Like, it would get in his head, and it did, man. He was mad. He was so mad, he almost came to tears in one of those interviews out of anger. Right. I guess that's all steroids and the roid racing going on and whatnot. But so at the same time, it was like, yeah, it's great to promote this fight. Like, I want everybody to see that. I was so confident I'm going to win this fight, you know. I really believe I'm better than that guy. I was like, he's a big name, you know, he's fought a lot. I want everybody to see this fight. I want to hype it up. You know what I mean? And it turned into, the more and more it happened, I talked trash and he talked back, and I started to genuinely not like him, and he genuinely didn't like me. So it started kind of innocent, and then it got more and more serious until we really didn't like each other towards the end. You know.
I know you just said that this whole experience was a blessing in disguise because, you know, you learned a lot from that loss, but I'm just curious, what was the worst part about that whole experience? Was it seeing Ed Soares wrap the first ever RFA middleweight title belt around Kevin Casey? Was it the fact that you were knocked out the first time you were ever stopped? Was it the fact that he used you as a springboard to get himself into the UFC? Or was it something where months later, you know, we find out that he was, using performance-enhancing drugs, and what was the worst part about that whole experience?
Yeah, I mean, all the steroids, so it doesn't make me, like, more mad. It's just like, that's funny. You know what I mean? Like, you cheated. It almost makes you feel better, like you weren't on the same playing field. You know what I mean? But just what was the worst is just, I just let myself down. Like, I couldn't believe it. Like, after I lose, I'm like, I don't deserve to lose. I worked so hard. Like, I sacrificed so much, and I just let myself down. And I have really high hopes for myself. I think I can go far in the sport. That's what I was expecting. I had the whole plan. Like, maybe I got I think I got a little ahead of myself, and it was humbling. To take a step back. But I was like, yeah, in this fight, I go to the UFC gold, all this stuff. I think I was looking ahead a little bit. But I just, all that stuff was crushed when I lost.
Right.
I was really disappointed in myself, and just, bad decision making in the fight. It was still a fight I should have won, I think. And so, that's the biggest thing. And what was I going to say? I forgot what I was going to say. So, you're blank.
That's okay. After that fight, you were out almost a year to the day. You fought Kevin Casey on June 6th 2014, and then you didn't have another fight until you fought Clinton Williams June 5th of this year. Kevin Casey.
That was the other thing. Yeah, I was out an entire year. Like I was getting headaches for the longest time. I couldn't even work my job. Like I do like labor work. You know what I mean? Like it was the real deal. And,
right.
My coach, like Frost Hobby, and some really great minds now. They're like, you gotta, like this whole taking a month suspension is BS. Like you gotta take like 6 months off to really be safe. You don't want to. You're young. You gotta be careful with this. You don't want to lose your chin. I was like 6 months. 6 months, like a year, like 8 months. Like what the heck am I gonna do? Like this is all I do. I just train. This is my life. What the heck am I gonna do? So that sucks, man. I didn't know what to do with myself. I couldn't work out. Like I couldn't run anything. It was like I remember holding mitts for my buddy, and you hit it, and it's like radiated through my body. I could feel it in my head. So it was a serious concussion, I think. So I didn't do anything for like 6 months. And that was really hard for me because, like I said, it's all I do.
Right.
It was hard getting back. I got fat. I got out of shape. I got the mentality of coaching. I just coached a lot. That's all I did. Taught, and I kind of lost a little bit of that. Like, it took the wind out of my sails. But I definitely got it back now. But it's always hard coming back, getting back in shape, the mentality back. Just a big pain in the ass.
Right.
I mean, even when I couldn't really be too physical, I was still doing a lot of jiu-jitsu. It's soft, like technique, and I was studying film, and I was still working, and doing a lot of almost thinking about it. Just thinking about it, it can help you. You can learn a lot about it. It's just a big puzzle. Fighting is a big puzzle.
Right.
I'm always thinking about it and watching people and studying it. I even grew when I wasn't training. I feel like
I'm just curious, in that 6-month break that you took, did RFA try to book you in any of those months? Did they ever offer you any fights during that time period?
We told them, hey, we're going to take the full 6 months. We're not going to mess around.
Okay.
And they're like, that's great. We think that Ed Soros was I think that's awesome. This is a great decision. We fully support it. Whenever he's ready to come back, just tell me, and we'll get him a fight. We'll get him back going. So they're awesome. Really supportive of me. Always got my back. I feel like.
Now, in your last fight against Clinton Williams, it was a very dominant win for you. The first round, you were all over him. The second round, you came out, you landed like a bitch slap. It was like it felt like a bitch slap, but it was a head kick. So you caught him with your foot, and then you took him down, and then you pounded him out. Considering that fight against Kevin Casey didn't go your way, and then you were out a year, was that the kind of fight that you needed to get back into the swing of things? Did you need a dominant win like that? You dominated him start to finish. You were never in any trouble, and you stopped him in the second round. So I'm just curious, was that the kind of performance that you were hoping for the next fight back, or were you just looking for a win, and you'll take it wherever you can?
Yeah. I mean, you got to think what if you do happen to lose? I lose 2 in a row. That's never good, man. What if I get knocked out again? Anybody can get knocked out. What if it happens? Couldn't win. I should run through this guy. He has no business even being there with me. But man, after what happened with Casey, that's the same thing I thought with Casey. I'm like, there's no way this guy's gonna knock me out. You know what I mean? So all these thoughts are going through your head, and I was nervous. Yeah, I was nervous. What am I going to do if I lose again? But when I got in there, and I felt better than ever. My head was clear. I fixed my weight. I don't cut as much weight. That kind of messes with my mental sanity almost. You know what I mean? I can think clear. This was a fight that I thought the clearest in. I remember the whole fight from start to finish. I was calm. On the feet, I was very. I knew what I was doing. You know what I mean? I feel like I'm finally coming into my own, you know what I mean? Everything's coming together, and it wasn't a year ago. There were still holes, there was transition issues between the striking and the grappling, things like that, but everything is coming together, man. My strike, it's good. I needed an extra year to work on my striking, I think, and yeah.
Were you surprised that RFA offered you a title fight after the Clinton Williams fight, or were you kind of expecting to be put into a title fight because recently you had fought for the belt, it's vacant now, and that Williams fight was so dominant? I'm just curious, were you surprised, or were you kind of expecting to be put in a title fight?
Not really, I think they expect me to win the Casey fight, honestly. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And they know I'm ready. They've always given me words of encouragement, like, "Hey, man, we think you're going to make it to the next level, this and that." And I knew that I needed a fight before the title fight, so they're just going to try to find me somebody. And it was like hell finding me a fight. Like, I was fighting in Denver, and they went through everybody in Denver, 8 guys accepted the fight, and then they backed out. They couldn't find me in a damn fight, you know what I mean? And finally, this guy took it, and I beat him. And I expected it. Let's say that. That was the word, actually. I gotta do the grapevine. I heard this. They were gonna give me a title shot. Anyway, they wanted a title shot for me, so.
Okay.
It was definitely expected.
Okay. Because this is your second opportunity to become RFA Middleweight Kingpin, I'm just curious, how much does this belt mean to you? You had a chance against Kevin Casey and you came up short in that fight. Now you're getting another opportunity. Is this something that having this belt will fill a void in your career? Because let's say that you win 3 or 4 more fights, but outside of RFA, you never fight for the RFA title again. You still end up making it to the UFC, but you never have the RFA middleweight title. Would you still be disappointed that you didn't have the RFA belt? Now, even though you'd be in the UFC, which is your ultimate goal, you want to be in that show, but even though you're in the big show, would there still be something missing from your career if you didn't go back and get that RFA belt? Give me an idea. How much does this belt mean to you?
Yeah, I would much rather win this belt. There's nothing better than, for example, when I was in college, my freshman year, I got tech-falled by this wrestler. And that tech-fall when you're losing 15, the guy's up at 15 points. You completely destroyed. And 2 years later, I wrestled this guy, and I did the same thing to him. I tech-falled him. And that is the best feeling, you know what I mean? Passing people up, doing things you couldn't do in the past. And losing the RFA belt, the more adversity you face, and the harder it is to get something, the better it feels when you finally get it. You know what I mean? If you don't have to work for something and you win a national championship, it's okay, cool, I won. If you work your ass off, it's the best feeling in the world. So losing the belt and coming back and winning this belt that previously maybe I wasn't ready to get. And on top of that, it's in my hometown. I haven't fought my hometown 5 fights. I forgot what it's like to be cheered in a fight, and it's going to be overwhelming seeing all these people coming from all over the country that I've known through college, through my childhood and stuff, and they know what I've kind of gone through to have this title shot. They're all going to be there, cheering me on. It's going to be overwhelming. You know what I mean? It's going to be amazing. I'm so excited.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure you're hoping everyone that comes to the fight on August 7th will be cheering for you, but I'm just curious, how many people have you personally invited to this fight since the fight is going to be taking place in your backyard? I'm just curious, how many tickets have you sold and how many people are going to be coming to support you on August 7th, or is it too early to tell?
I don't got a number, but I know there's a lot. There's a lot.
Right.
I haven't been selling tickets personally. A lot of them bought it online and stuff. But from what I understand, Pat, who's the promoter, the show's going to be sold out. You know what I mean? So I know a lot of me and Jake Collier. I train at his gym, and some of the Pits. That's the name of his gym, the Pit. Some of those guys are fighting, and so I know all the people in the community in the area, so it's not just me they're coming for either. There's other people.
Right.
It's a big group of us, so that brings even more people in. And I'm pretty well known in the area. You know what I mean? Everybody knows. It's gonna be packed. It's not a huge arena either. It's really nice and a little smaller, but a sold out crowd there. It's gonna be so loud. It's gonna be so freaking loud. Oh man. It's going to motivate me a lot. I think, I fight well under pressure, so I think it's only going to make me better.
You're fighting John Poppy. What are your thoughts about him as an opponent?
You watch his film, and kind of rushes in and tries to grab you and take you down. You know what I mean? I looked up his college stats, even because his wrestling is his bread and butter. And I looked him up, you know, and he was like an average college wrestler. You know, wasn't an All-American, didn't have an outstanding record or anything like that. You know, just average. I mean, and what he excels at most, I feel like I am much better. And on top of that, his striking isn't impressive. His jiu-jitsu doesn't impress me. So I'm better at, like, everything. And way better at what he excels at. So it's a tough fight for him, man. Like, you know what I mean? If he runs in and just tries to grab me, fine. Like, I welcome that, you know? I welcome that. If you want to wrestle, we'll wrestle, you know? I'll strike with him, too. Like, I'm confident in this fight. You know, he's a tough guy, and he comes forward, man, and he doesn't quit. He's not a quitter. But skill-wise, man, I think I outmatch him everywhere.
Last time against Kevin Casey, there was a lot of build-up, a lot of trash talk. This time around, it's been very quiet. Is that something that you just came up with? Like, hey, I'm not going to say much this time around, or do you not have an issue at all with Poppy? And that's why it's been quiet.
Yeah, I mean, I like to just, you know, it kind of takes your focus away. My last fight, I kind of was focused on other things rather than the fight. Like, so yeah, I'm just trying to kind of just almost enjoy the process and not think about social media so much. Not now, maybe in the future, but I just want to get the wing back, you know, the wind back under my sails when this fight, you know, get a little streak going, and then maybe I can open up a little more. But I'm not. But then at the same time, I don't got a problem with the guy. He doesn't talk bad about me, you know. He respects me from what I understand, you know. I don't got much to say to the guy, you know what I mean? He seems like a good guy, you know?
Where exactly are you at right now? I've heard you're in New York right now?
Yeah, I'm in New Jersey, about 45 minutes from New York City. I'm at this gym. It's called K Dojo, and it's where a lot of the Russian and Chechnyan fighters, it's like a gateway to America for them. Like Advan was here, and you know, all the big Russian names, you know what I mean? And basically my manager used to take me up here on training trips, bring me around different gyms, and a guy named Alexander Yakolev was fighting Damian Maia at the time, and they were looking for a grappler. Like, they asked me to come spar with them, so I spar with them, and then they're like, come to the gym, and let's train again, and I train again, and people started asking me questions on the grappling end of things, and before I knew it, they offered me a place to stay, for me to come teach here. The East Coast, man, is great. You know, there's so many gyms cross-train on as well. So I jumped at the opportunity, man, you know, to take it to the next level. Here I am, you know.
In the past, you've jumped around from a few places to train. You've been up to TriStar to train. You've been training back home in Missouri. I'm just curious, what do you consider your home gym?
Right now, K Dojo. Back home, it would be the Pit, you know. I'm still, they're the one keeping me alive back home. Basically, you know, when I go back home, I train with them. Like my buddy Jake Collier, who's actually here in the house with me right now. He's visiting New Jersey. We're going to get some training in. But, yeah, so I would definitely, I mean, I cross-train at a lot of gyms, but there's only specific gyms that, like, really, like, genuinely help me, do things for me. And K Dojo is one of them, man. They give me a house to stay in. They make sure everything's taken care of, you know. And back home, my people at the Pit.
Okay. Just curious, where do you live full-time? Do you live in New Jersey, or do you live in Missouri?
Yeah, I live in Fairfield, New Jersey.
Okay. I was just curious about that. Andrew, we'll end on this. It's a little segment I like to call Really Random. That's where I ask you a random question, and you give me the real answer. Some of these questions are custom-made just for you, and some of these questions are generic ones that I ask everyone. So, here we go. First girl you ever kissed, and how old were you when it happened?
Oh, man. I was a little dweeb, man. I was scared of girls when I was a kid. I was like, I don't know, like 6th grade or something. And this girl had a big crush on me. She said, come over. So I came over, and basically, like, her friend was like, if I give you, like, this piece of candy, will you let Rachel kiss you? I'm like, oh, yeah, I guess so. And I just kind of stood there, and she came in and kissed me on the lips, and I thought it was disgusting, and it was terrible. Yeah, I was a big dweeb, man, what can I say? So it wasn't, like, romantic. You know, it definitely was perfect.
Do you remember the girl's name or what candy it was?
No, I don't know if it was a candy or what it was, or like a bed or something, but it was something along those lines, like, or she pretty much asked if I would let this girl named Rachel kiss me.
Okay.
So no smooth moves, nothing like that, man. It was kind of weird, to be honest.
Okay. Superpower you'd love to have?
Oh, man, that's serious. I want to be like Professor Xavier, man. It's just like mind control shit.
Okay.
It's nothing more powerful than mind. If you control somebody's mind, that's it. Game over.
Okay.
Whatever you want.
Favorite movie?
Step Brothers.
Favorite TV show?
Honestly, I don't really watch much TV. I kind of got bored with it.
Okay. How about this one? Favorite TV show that's no longer on the air?
Maybe, I used to watch a lot of South Park. I used to think that shit was real funny.
Best thing that's ever happened to you?
Best thing that ever happened to me? Man, I gotta say, like, the first time I won a national championship in college, because I never thought I would ever get there. I didn't do anything in high school. I wrestled like a couple of years, and I was always playing catch up and overlooked. No one wanted to start me. And I just worked so goddamn hard to get where I was, and it was kind of unexpected. I won the damn national tournament. Boom, just like that. And it was an amazing feeling. I'm like, I accomplished. This is all I wanted. That's all I ever wanted for the past however many years, and I got it. And it was a dramatic match, overtime match. Like, I escaped with like a second left, and I took them down in quadruple overtime, and it was surreal. You know what I mean? And that was got to be the best feeling I've ever had. And I won it, 2 years later again, but nothing will ever match that first time that I won that tournament.
What's the worst thing that's ever happened to you?
Man, there's a long list of that. When I was a kid, I used to get in a lot of trouble. I was in and out of juvenile hall, and so I don't know, man. There's a lot, man. Let's not even get into that.
Oh, come on. Give me one example, please.
Well, I don't say it's the worst thing that ever happened to me, but one time, I was like in college actually, but we were just dumb college kids and getting into some street fight with a bunch of random guys. I don't even know how it came about. One guy pulled a knife, man, and sliced me right in my midsection. It's a giant scar, and you can see it. It's easily visible. It looks like he took my appendix out, but it's not. It looks like a surgical scar. It was a switchblade knife, you know what I mean? But no, it's from a street fight. So, next time you see me fight, look at my belly, you'll see this giant scar. This time I got sliced, and my belly was hanging open, and it was a mess. I had to call my wrestling coach. I'm like, Coach, how's it going? I kind of got stabbed. And he flipped out. So that was no fun. But I got really lucky, man. Like, there was a spot where there was no organs, nothing like that. Just muscle, nice and clean, healed up nice and well. That was pretty messed up.
Okay. Now, if that's not the worst thing that happened to you, I'm afraid to ask, so we'll just drop it there, because that seems pretty bad. Yeah, so I don't really want to know what the worst thing that ever happened to you is. I'm over it now. What does Inca Kola taste like? Obviously, Inca Kola is a very big sponsor of RFA, and I'm from Michigan, and I've been looking around all over. I've been to 7-Elevens, I've been to gas stations, I've been to independent party stores. I've been all over trying to find this, and I can't find it in any stores. I've been to grocery stores. Maybe they have a 2-liter there. No, nothing. I can't find Inca Kola anywhere at all. So I'm just curious. I saw you tweet out a photo of what looks to be a can of Inca Kola in like a refrigerator in some sort of party store or gas station. So I'm just curious, what does it taste like, and is it good?
It tastes delicious. What's the name? Oh my god, I'm drawing a blank again. It's like ginger ale. Kind of reminds me of ginger ale, but a little different. There's a little twist. I can't really describe it. But
Okay. I'm gonna still keep looking, but I
Can't find them anywhere?
Can't find them anywhere. Been looking all over. Yeah. Can't find them. So
I'm not really sponsored by them.
Well, the RFA, the organization.
I don't know where to find this stuff either. To be honest, I tried it before, but like whenever they bring it to the shows, I don't know where. You don't see them in gas stations unless you order online or what?
Right. I don't know, but I was just curious about that. Celebrity crush.
Man, I don't have any nowadays, but back in the day, I used to love Britney Spears. I think she's smoking hot. And then, obviously, she shaved her head, and that all went out the window.
What's your pet peeve?
Pet peeve for people that are fake and they try and be something they're not, and people that are late drives me nuts. Like, don't be late. It's not cool. Just be on time. Because I'm on time, and I'm waiting for you, and you're late. So, be on time.
Time period you'd like to go back and visit, and why?
The 60s and 70s, man. Good music, cultural revolution, hippies, free love, all that stuff sounds awesome.
Person you look up to the most?
I look up to my college coach quite a bit. He kind of made me the man I am today, Made me really mentally tough. That was the biggest thing. He put us through hell. And, I got a lot of respect for that guy, man. He's a tough old bastard.
I saw a picture on your Twitter. There's you standing at like a whiteboard, and then I believe it's Zach Makovsky is there, but he seems to be asleep, and then Jake Collier's in there. Explain what's going on in this picture. What's written on this whiteboard, and where is this room? I see a bunch of like sports cards like blown up on the wall. Where exactly is this?
Jake and Zach had to sign a bunch of stuff for Topps trading cards, their sponsor, make cards for them. Mm-hmm. And we walk into New York City in this giant, beautiful corporate building, and I had my cut-off flannel shirt on,
right.
just to do it, and people were horrified by it, naturally. One of this big, meeting room with his table and blackboards and stuff. So we just took a couple silly pictures. The board has no meaning to me, but I put on a silly little tie we bought on the seat, on the street, and made it look like I'm going to some big, important meeting, and that's about it.
Oh,
serious.
Oh, I see. What do you worry about? What's something that keeps you up at night?
I worry about not living up to my full potential, basically, because I know what I'm capable of, and I couldn't live with myself if I never got as far as I know I could get. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. You get hurt, you snap your knee when your career's over, and all the however many years I put in, my whole life basically, it's never going to lead to where to my goal. So I worry about that.
Mm-hmm. Best advice you were ever given through life, and best advice you were ever given through fighting?
That's a tough one, man. I've had so many little bits and pieces of advice. I take from each person, I kind of find traits in them that I like and kind of want to add to my own personality, And I see things in people that I don't like. I kind of try and cut that out of my personality as well. I take a little bit from everybody. I don't know about one great master piece of advice, But everybody has something to teach you, I think.
Are the cauliflowers still together?
No more cauliflowers, man. We broke up.
Oh.
Not broke up, but people moved, and I moved, and things happened. But no more. But I'm not. I'm on the band search. I want to start a band. I got all my guitars here in Jersey, and it's going to happen eventually. I'm already working on it, a new group. So maybe in the future one day.
Oh, okay. I was just curious about that because I haven't heard anything. So.
Yeah, no more.
What's your hidden talent?
Hidden talent, man. I don't know. I don't really. I would say it was guitar, but it's not really hidden anymore. You know what I mean? I used to be able to shred that thing, and nobody had a clue. Not one person knew that I played guitar. I just did it by myself, and I just randomly just busted out. They're like, "What the heck, Sanchez? What are you doing?" you could do that, you know, so that used to be hidden, but now, the only thing I'm good at is fighting, playing the guitar, probably.
Mm-hmm. Time travel or space travel?
Man, those are both the awesome things to do. Oh, that's a tough one. I guess space travel. Yeah, space travel. Like I'm a nerd for space. I love that stuff. I think it's fascinating. I mean, like there's so much stuff. Like we have no idea what's out there. We have absolutely no idea. We literally know nothing as a human race. You know what I mean? With all the crazy stuff out there. So I would love to know the secrets of the damn universe. Go on, somebody tell me.
Number one thing on your bucket list?
Bucket list. Right now, get to UFC to win the damn title. That's number one.
If you could change one thing about the world, what would you change and why?
Just not so much hate, man. Everybody wants to hate each other for some reason. You know what I mean? Even like just silly reasons, and I don't know why they do it. I guess because they're not happy with themselves, their lives, so they let's just hate other people. But there's no need for all that. You know what I mean? I'd like to see more happiness in all this. You know what I mean?
Right. Andrew, real quick before I let you go, do you have any sponsors you'd like to thank, and is there anything you'd like to say to the fans?
Well, man, St. Louis, be ready. It's gonna be beat down of a lifetime, and I can't wait to see you all. It's gonna be so overwhelming. I'm so excited, so freaking excited. Definitely thank you to all the people helping me right now. K Dojo, obviously, the coach Murat, the pit back in St. Louis, a place called Equine Altitude for my strength and conditioning. You guys are awesome, man. Stick me in this altitude chamber, jack up 20,000 feet, you know. Put me through hell, give me a stay, take care of me. And, you know, all the other coaches, everybody who's helped me whole life to get me where I am, you know. Everybody plays a piece. So, Mom and Dad, thank you. And I think that's about all I got.
Andrew, thank you for taking the time to talk. I really appreciate it. Good luck August 7th at RFA 28 against John Poppy.
All right, man. Thanks a lot. Thanks for having me.